Paul, thanks so much for joining us today. Why don't we start off by just explaining what is the business model?
Sure. TeraWulf is Bitcoin mining 10.0. We're about social responsibility, doing things with zero carbon emissions, holding on to our Bitcoin, and creating the best possible company we can.
And so in terms of investors, is investing in your company a way to get exposure to Bitcoin without actually owning the coin? How would you sort of explain your value proposition to investors?
Sure. People can choose to buy Bitcoin, but people sometimes like the liquidity of the public space. Bitcoin mining is capital intensive. That's why we're a public company. We expect our valuation to reflect the amount of mining we're doing, the amount of megawatts that we have going to create Bitcoin. We have a very steep pipeline. And again, we're about zero carbon emission. We're unique in that regard in the space. And we're very, very focused on execution on the business plan. At its core, Bitcoin mining is energy infrastructure. That's what we've done for the last 25 years. We're the best at it. And we're gonna continue to evolve our business plan as we build out our platforms in upstate New York and Pennsylvania.
So, Paul, talk to us about risk. Very often, the cleanest energy sources also tend to be more expensive, and having a lot of geographic reach and options on where to put things can get you perhaps lower cost and cleaner energy. To what extent is this going to be a costly capital build out to get resources in the areas where you need them in order to have lower operating costs going forward?
Well, I think you got to untangle that a little bit. First of all, just front end, the cost is going to be less expensive than the other folks out there, because we're at very scalable sites where there is excess supply of energy. So we're very competitive. Two, I think when regulation comes, which, by the way, we welcome, we think regulation would be a great thing, it will come in the form of a carbon tax. So here we are at zero carbon emissions. We're going to have a lower operating costs. Third of all, from a risk perspective, I think that we're going to be mining Bitcoin in the most responsible way. And I think ultimately that will create, a divided market of winners and losers. And we're going to be amongst the winners.
It'd be interesting to hear a little bit about your team and the way that the team has been built to be able to really position the company uniquely, as you point out, as an ESG player. I mean, that's attracted the likes of Gwyneth Paltrow, who make investment decisions on things that are really important to them. And I just wonder, how defensible long-term that strategy is. But maybe the team that you've built has a longer lasting ability to maintain that moat.
Okay. I appreciate that question. I'll give you three thoughts. The first thing is, we didn't build the team out of a sense of ESG being an ideal. We've been in the energy infrastructure business for the last 25 years. We have 15 members of our team that have been with us 15 years. We have 10 members of our team that have been with us even longer. 5 of our 7 senior executives are women who've all been with the company over 10 years. So it's not just an ideal, a thought, we'd like to do this. This is the way we've run our energy infrastructure business for the last 25 years. The second point is we have senior women on our board. I think that's important. I think that we can attract investors like Gwyneth and members of Kinship because they are savvy investors, they're sophisticated entrepreneurs, they want to get a return on their investment, but they want to see Bitcoin mined in a responsible way. That's the solution that we're having. The last point is in terms of survivability of our business plan. Again, at its core, Bitcoin mining is energy infrastructure. Nobody else out there, none of the comps out there, have the experience in sourcing, procuring, and mitigating the risks of energy infrastructure. That's all we've done. To go about Bitcoin mining is a natural evolution of that business. And again, we're going to be doing it responsibly because we're zero carbon emission.